Have you ever wondered how the Zionist movement came into existence and its impact on Palestine? Zionism, as we know it today, took root in the late 19th century. It emerged against a backdrop of rising anti-Semitism in Europe, particularly in Eastern Europe and Russia. Jews facing persecution and violence started to yearn for a place of refuge, a sanctuary where they could live freely and safely. This longing sparked the idea of a Jewish homeland, a dream that would eventually lead to the birth of Zionism. Theodor Herzl, an Austro-Hungarian journalist, played a pivotal role in shaping this dream into a political movement. Herzl's vision was to establish a Jewish state in the land of Palestine, a place deeply intertwined with Jewish history and identity. He believed that a national home for the Jewish people was the solution to the Jewish question, the issue of how to safeguard the rights and identity of Jews as a distinct group. So with this background, we can now delve into how Zionism began to shape the fate of Palestine. Now let's turn the pages of history to the year 1917, a pivotal moment in the history of both Zionism and Palestine. In this year, the British Foreign Secretary, Arthur Balfour, penned a letter to Lord Rothschild, a leader of the British Jewish community. This letter, known as the Balfour Declaration, expressed Britain's support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. However, this promise was made without consulting Palestine's Arab majority, stirring a pot of growing tensions. The subsequent British Mandate period saw an influx of Jewish immigrants, further exacerbating these tensions. The Jewish immigrants, driven by the Zionist aspiration for a national homeland, and the Arab Palestinians, fearing the loss of their homeland, found themselves on a collision course. This period of history is marked by a complex interplay of nationalism, colonialism, and clashing aspirations. The Balfour Declaration and the British Mandate significantly influenced the course of the Zionist movement and the future of Palestine. So what happens when the promise of a homeland becomes a reality? Let's dive into that. In the late 40s, the United Nations proposed a partition plan, dividing the British Mandate of Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. Despite Arab nations' rejection, the plan was adopted. In May 1948, Israel was declared an independent state, marking a monumental victory for the Zionist movement. However, the birth of Israel came with a painful side effect for the Palestinians. The Nakba, or the catastrophe as it's known, refers to the mass displacement of around 700,000 Palestinians from their homes during Israel's creation. This displacement was a direct consequence of the Zionist movement's push for a Jewish state. The creation of Israel ignited the fuse of the Arab-Israeli conflict, a struggle that has continued through the decades marked by wars, skirmishes, and a never-ending cycle of violence. The creation of Israel marked a significant milestone for the Zionist movement, but it also ushered in a new era of conflict and displacement for the Palestinians. Now let's bring our timeline to the present day. What does Zionism mean for Palestine today? Zionism as a political ideology still plays a significant role in Israel's politics. Its influence is evident in the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which has been marked by periods of intense violence and tentative peace. This conflict has had far-reaching implications for the lives of Palestinians, many of whom face restrictions on their movement, access to resources, and even their right to live in certain areas. Internationally, the situation has drawn widespread scrutiny. Countries around the globe have sought to broker peace, with varying degrees of success. The United Nations, along with several human rights organizations, have taken a keen interest, striving to ensure justice and fairness for all parties involved. Yet the path to peace remains fraught with challenges, largely due to the deep-seated historical and political complexities of the region. As we can see, the influence of Zionism on Palestine has been profound and continues to shape the region's politics and people's lives today.